Welcome in, everyone. Happy Wednesday to you. Hello, I'm Jason, Chef JT. Coming at you 4 nights a week. Welcome. See all sorts of people checking in beginning of the stream. Happy to see all these friendly faces. Hello, Will. Hello, Zeeks. What's new? What's happening, everyone? I have things scheduled this week, Zeeks. I have nothing scheduled Thanksgiving-y. I'm almost ignoring that there's Thanksgiving this year. I already got things planned, Zeke. I've got actually Japanese week already redeemed for the end of the month. So anyone redeeming a theme right now is going to be beginning of December. Yep, I got that all planned out too. You can find out the upcoming dates and what I have planned by either looking at the Google Calendar. If you're on Twitch, you can see down below me in the About page or in the links at the end of my little bar there. There's a calendar link. And that'll take you to my Google Calendar, which has my upcoming dates. Alternatively, you can join in on the Discord, and I have my events listed coming up. I don't know why I'm rewarming my glass, other than I got lost in my time and what I was doing because I was talking. Nice. Well, I have never been to Japan, so I'm gonna be Mr. I've read about these recipes doing Japanese food. Been to China, not to Japan. A couple of guys that went with me to China went to Japan afterward. Sort of envious of that now. Sous vide turkey. I'm sort of the opinion that turkey is best done a traditional roast. Not to say that I haven't done sous vide turkey myself. I just sort of feel like the extra depth and roast that you get from being able to deeply roast something, you're getting a lot more flavor than you can. I think that's really my summation of sous vide. Like, I'm almost down to the point where, like, okay, it's for cooking eggs specific degrees and a few other tips and tricks, and maybe if you want to do 48-hour short ribs. Cheers, folks. Thank you for joining me for tonight's stream. Words, Jason. Ah. So I bought my Carne Asada. I have pre-done, pre-made Carne Asada sitting in its marinade. But before I get into that, I thought I'd strain my oil and clean my oil that's over on the stove. Stove camera. So over here in the sink, I've got my 2-stage funnel. That's a funnel with a rough filter and a fine filter. And then just main camera, pouring it in there. I use the sink faucet to sort of hack my way into holding it for me. That way I can have both hands on the pan I'm pouring. You also don't want to pour too quick, both for the funnel and for the oil. The slower you pour it, the more the junk will just stay in the pan. And then I just generally leave whatever's left over there. We'll rinse that out separate. We'll let this drain for a moment. Coffee filters work well, but you have to slightly warm them. You have to have the oil just slightly... I'm forgetting the words here, but not as thick, thinner, so that it goes through the filter easier. And heating it up will thin it out. But only to, like, I'm only talking like 100, 110, like warming for like doing yeast. It's just a little bit. You start getting into like 160, 170, and you start getting into temperatures where you're worried about plastics and things leaching out of plastics. So I'm just going to heat this pan to dry it out. And we can get into the fun stuff for tonight. Alright, I need to grill this. So we need to get our grill pan stuff set up. Because in both applications of tonight's meat, it does not matter that it is freshly cooked that second. In fact, for dessert, I'm intending to cook it a bit more than just grilling it. Trying to think what else I need to get going for this tonight. Actually, I should get going with the dessert first, so I should not even be thinking about dinner so far. Let's take this out. And see what this stuff is like. I've never tried this before or seen this before. But apparently Cinnabon makes cinnamon bread. Probably should have gotten a serrated knife out for this, but oh well. Maybe I will after all. Nope, that's not what I want. That's what I want. Bread knife, not cake knife. Hey John, welcome in. Uh-oh. I'm not seeing all of my chat yet tonight. There we go. Be even better if I had an offset one of these like this. Like the number one knife in every kitchen. I don't have the number one knife in every kitchen. At least I assume that is. I don't know that is for sure. I just assume that, like, every commercial kitchen that I have ever been in has, you know, a couple of offset serrated knives. Ooh, that's some pretty good stuff. I like that. It's got a good cinnamon flavor to it. And it's a nice soft bread. And it's got a decent crust to it. Well, I mean, it's got a soft crust, but it's got a decent soft crust. Oops, that's not where I wanted to go. That's where I wanted to go. Over here on the stove, we're going to take our pre-marinated beef and right onto the grill. I'm going to ditch the last little bit of marinade. This actually works out better. I didn't realize this was 2 pieces. I got that smaller piece up at the top. Decent garlic smell coming off of this right now too. But I think I'm going to dedicate this smaller, thinner one to dessert. And this is going to be for chimichangas. Prime rib. Wondering if they suggest rinsing it off before you grill it. Nope. Let's be honest though, Chad, I'm not really grilling it right now. We're actually almost more steaming it than we are grilling it right now. There's too much liquid and moisture boiling off for it to be properly searing. Yeah, not getting any color at all there yet. Those flames are both on full high. It's listed as flap meat, which is not necessarily flank. Welcome in, Big Tuna. Hello to Spud Muffin, too. Got a couple of new names in chat here tonight. Wait, what's going on here? There. Hey, Buns. I'm searing my meat. I'm making Carne Asada bread stuffing. You're hearing my voice twice? Oh. Oh, that's interesting, Buns. Let's see, where... Is there any of it? Is my program not connected to YouTube tonight? I can see Buns spamming my YouTube, but I don't know why it's not showing up in the chat when it normally does. It is a little bit delayed through their API, but I don't think it was this delayed. It says I'm logged in. Just so we know, chat, I'm purposely overcooking the small one up top. And this one, yeah. We're maybe getting close up here to what I want, but we're definitely not there yet. Yes, I know what the package physically said. Flap meat. Although I will be honest, it does not... Well, this looks like a piece of flank, the top piece up here. This is a bit too thick for my thoughts on that. Like, that's twice as thick as most flank steaks I think I've dealt with. Gonna turn the fan on high. Smoking myself out here. Oh, you're gonna fold it 4 times. I've done it more than that for the thicker piece. This one I haven't. But we're now getting to the point where we're actually getting some searing action happening. Yeah. Which is also why we're getting smoke. I bought a package of pre-made Carne Asada. That's the whole thing with the ingredient challenges. It was, I'm not picking out a perfect piece of meat and marinating it myself. I'm buying the product you can buy at the store. Speaking of that, if you would like to have some input in the future ingredient challenges, I will be putting up a new challenge sometime soon. I put up new challenges, if I remember, on Friday nights, or on Wednesday nights. They run until Monday, Tuesday. Wow. Is that confusing enough for you yet, chat? Anyways, there's a weekly vote, and every Wednesday I do an ingredient challenge based off of what chat votes in the Discord. And those ingredients are ones like this I just buy straight from the store. There's been a few rare occasions where I couldn't find it, or it was a little too exotic where I put it together. In particular, that was a spice. Oh, no worries, Big Tuna. You're welcome in here. I'm quick to snap. I'm quick to... Ah. Dubers, good question. This one I'm purposely... This smaller piece up here, I am purposely overcooking. We want small little... I want lots of... Maillard, lots of caramelization, lots of charring. And that's going to be for our dessert. This thicker piece, we're definitely, you know... Yes, Caden, but that's the challenge. Chat voted for me to have to use carne asada to make dinner and dessert. Which is really the challenge for all these ingredient challenges, is not necessarily using the ingredient, but using it both savory and sweet. I've turned the flames off on all of this now, and that's just sitting now. I'm gonna have to turn on a couple other fans here in the house. Give me one moment. Well, you see, that's the advantage of having the smoke alarm in the bedroom with a door that you can close it. I should probably let some fresh air in here too. But it's cold out there, so I don't know how long that's going to stay open. Plus all the neighbors will think I'm weird. They already think I am, though. Stay in there, Peppers. And Peppers were leaning against my big thing of eggs. Well, I sort of think of eggnog as sort of half a cheat. I threw it in there because it's a keyword that people would notice. But the reality is that it's the same ingredients. They've just mixed them ahead of time for you. It's sort of like using that self-rising AP flour that has the chemical leaveners already mixed into it. We're going to pull that big piece off there so it doesn't cook forever. Let's throw that on the cutting board. That might be a smarter plan. Now let's grab that. We got some little bits from the big one left over here. Over on the cutting board. A little bit of egg. A little bit of pre-made eggnog. Let's make sure that nutmeg at the bottom is all stirred in. This one has some nutmeg that tends to fall out of solution. Got to return the bottle. $3 returns these days. just making sure and tossing all of them over cinnamon raisin bread with our eggnog and egg. Well, I should actually say a $3 deposit. I actually made some cash off of that. Ooh. And anonymous sub-donor. Well, thank you. Appreciate that.
Dollar message.
We're going to take this smaller piece and chop this up for the dessert. Cutting against the grain here to start. Absolutely the wrong knife to be doing this, but here we are anyways. And then, ooh, I'm torn, chat. Do I leave them in strips, or do I crumble them up and give them a little more of a cook to sear them even more? I think I'm gonna put them in just like that. I was thinking I was gonna chop them up and turn them into like bacon bits where they absolutely roast them. Oh yes, Caden. Sorry. Ingredient, the chat scramble. You have to hit, I sort of hacked it, and you have to type !! Scramble for each round that you wish to participate in. Not for the... No, I'm gonna do strips of this for the chimichangas. But for this, for the bread pudding, I'm leaving it as strips. I know there was a fair amount of nutmeg in that dairy, but I'm gonna add a bit more in there even so. Ooh, and Buns is running a giveaway for 250 sprinkles. Sprinkles are in-game, or in-chat currency for follower giveaways and fun stuff like that. Completely independent of any money. Just for hanging out and being cool. Can I just use... No, I don't want to use them dirty like this. Almost tempted to add some bacon to this now that I've got bacon in my head. But I think we're going to leave it there with that. I don't want to tear up the bread's disintegrating from all that delicious stuff in there. And you can't even see it. But do we go with That might be a bit thin for packing in this thing. That'll work. Oh wait, there's more to come with this. Sprinkle spillage. They got everywhere. Apricot. Figuring that would be a decent flavor for going along with the beef and the citrus. That is looking a little too thin. I guess I gotta go with this one. Well, at least it's getting decently mixed. Like, you want to maximize your surface area here to get that nice little crispness to it, but at the same time, can't have like gaps going to the bottom of the pan. Thank you for the follow. And then I'm just going to spoon this on. The idea being here that this is going to at least somewhat melt down in. At least that is my hope. Apricot preserves. Everyone see the viral thing about McDonald's sweet and sour sauce? It's honestly what got me thinking about apricot. So apparently, the primary flavors to McDonald's sweet and sour sauce are apricot and peach. but the primary flavor is apricot. The reason it's going viral is because someone told it to someone eating it on a podcast, and they were immediately revolted. What podcast? I don't know. I saw a clip of it, but I haven't seen them before. Maybe I just out of the loop. Okay, next steps here. We need to get rid of this pan and clean up the stove a little bit here. I don't think I need to show chat all the lovely things to do with cleaning this up. Do have cement floors here, and just leaning that up against the counter with the towel, blocking it so it doesn't get any heat on the counter. I'm not a fan of apricots in their raw form, but I like their flavor in situations like this, like the actual base flavor of it. Like the actual fruit, it's a little, I think the actual fruit versus jams and other things is just too acidic. And turn the fan back on low here. And close the window for a little bit. Gonna have to air out the house tomorrow when it warms back up again. Over on the stove. Might as well show you what I'm doing after all. But just wiping this all down, getting that grill stuff off of there before you get extra heat on there. And speaking of doing this cleanup, I'm sitting here thinking about these wipes. I want to make my own version of them. Does anyone know if they sell just the towels like this? Like, because I mean, this, I'm primarily just wanting some rubbing alcohol on a disposable piece of paper. I mean, maybe something to counteract the rubbing alcohol scent, but beyond that, yeah. Don't think that rubbing's gonna get that to go away. I wouldn't want to use dryer sheet, the chemicals that they use in dryer sheets, no. But like, just rolled paper like that, you know, just so that I can, and the thinner, I'm sure that's what's proprietary about this. Alright, you're going to start heating up the oven for baking this. Glasses is fine. I just want to use them on a surface that's also a food surface. We'll move that out of the way until the oven's up to temp. Grab a knife that's a little bit more suited for doing this. So there's our beef for with our burritos, or our chimichangas. I guess they're burritos before the chimichangas. Let's use white onion tonight. That joke makes sense in multiple ways. I'm thinking about the late season tomato being jammier and better for that type of a product than earlier season. How do I want to chop these tonight? Bit of oil over on the stove. Zoom right. Zoom right. Aw, come on, voice commands. Make me push buttons. Got a flame on pan, some oil. Bit of salt. Hi there, Hulda. Over on Trovo. All you need is cement. Rough cement. Like outdoor paveway cement. If you noticed, any can has a raised edge to it. You can just sit there and grind it against the cement until you grind it down that it opens and you can pull it out. Hey, if you're hungry, it's all you got. Alright, adding our beans in with our onions. Cumin. Garlic. chili. That doesn't sound like a bad plan. I used to keep ramen around. It's been a while since I've had that, though. I tossed some because the remaining ones were getting old enough that I was worried about them. Ramen does not last very long, by the way. It is not a long last. You got to use it. And yeah, streaming 4 nights a week. Too much food to have ramen around and keep it. Yeah, ramen's only... It's got a shelf life of something like 6 months, maybe 3-6 months. You got to consider that the way that ramen is made is they make traditional noodles and then they flash fry them, and so that's why they're actually considerably worse for you than other noodles, is because they're fried, and so there's oil there of some minor amount, and that oil then goes rancid, ruins the flavor of everything else in the noodles. The noodles themselves, the spice packets, I don't know, spice packets might survive the apocalypse. Nice little bit of apricot I'll throw in the fridge, and the odd hope that that actually survives to be put into something else. Hey, Capitano. We're also going to hit the beans with salt, pepper, and MSG. Alright, dessert's going in the oven. That was the beep for getting up to 350. Hi, Cosmic. And I'm now going to turn the oven down to 325. I am going to turn the beans off. Allow them to cool down now. Things are just peachy. Well, actually, things are just apricot-y. Okay, onions. Do I want to use up that other tomato in this tonight? We got the salsa now. So we can throw that over here with the meat. Salsa we can get out. If I remember where I put it. Forgetting what I put in here. Oh, yeah. For those that weren't here yesterday, we made some lovely guacamole and pico. This is leftover pico. I'll be throwing that in with our burritos. Is it really left over? Is it really leftover, chat, when you make more than you need on purpose? Because the reality is I was going to be doing chimichangas on Friday if we got a different setup. Now I don't know what I'm going to do on Friday. Other than I will be filling my little mini barrel with whatever cocktail wins. Okay, we need this off of the stove now. We can get this over here with the oil for frying later. That's what I can do. I can grate some cheese while we're waiting on things to bake and things to cook. Hey, we got some motor oil now. Okay, we got that and that. We need our cheese. Oh, and rice. And rice. We're making rice too, but that's for more on the side. Weird. Is it... I know I can find it under action groups. Startup. I don't know why these aren't on. No, you actually can dubers and buns. You can convert used cooking oil into eco diesel. And actually, for a while there was issues with the black market of people stealing cooking oil from restaurants. Hey, Velkiden. Well, just to clarify, Velkiden, we're doing an ingredient challenge tonight. And ingredient challenge is carne asada, so I'm using it in one pretty standard way, in one very non-standard way. I'm using it in a sweet and savory sense. The savory sense, we're making some chimichangas with our already roasted carne asada. The other way is I'm using carne asada to make a bread pudding tonight, which is already in the oven. That is currently baking away. Oh, not at all, dubers. It's quite an involved process that they do to do it, but it's one of those things that you can makeshift do in your backyard. So for a while there, it was a sort of an end thing. If you had a diesel that you could convert over to use that with. There's one that I know that's advertises that it does it on its bumper stickers that drives around here. And it's been around here. It's an old Mercedes. Like an old Mercedes. And it's like an 80s and maybe 90s Mercedes diesel. And it's rolling around here today. But you can Google it, Dubers, if you want to know the exact process. But there is, I forget if it's what it is. If it's a distillation of some sort, or I don't think it is. I don't think it's a heating thing. I think it's either like, yeah, I don't know what it is for sure. But there's a process to it. So this is the start of what we have prepared for our chimichangas, and then also have leftover guacamole in the fridge for garnish at the end, sour cream garnish, and we got the beans on the stove still that are going to go into the burritos. Now let's make some rice. Next, we're going to take the beans out of this and use the same pan. Because I like using this pan to make rice, even though most of the time the rice that I'm making could fit in the smaller pan I have. Don't know why. Just what I do. I like the big pan. Big pot. Actually, thinking about that, that would have been all good flavor for with the rice. I'm not worried about the little bit of leftover residual. After thinking about it, I was like, I'm just gonna cook it in there. It'll be good with the rice to go with everything anyways. We got some water and oil here. This should be a little bit of interesting, a little pop and fizz over on the stove. Zoom left. That's gonna get a little angry. Salt enough for our rice, so we're over salting our onions here. Why am I doing so little water? That's how much rice I'm doing, not how much water I need. That's a dad joke you have to see in text. Which makes me wonder if it's a successful dad joke or not. And I don't know what's going on here with the slime. This lime is being difficult. I'm just going to slice it into quarters here. I was trying to just get the pith out of the center. That's a good dad joke. I approve of that one. Have you heard about corduroy pillows? They're making headlines. About the same as I was yesterday. What am I forgetting? What am I forgetting? I'm always forgetting something. Stove only camera. Main camera. Thank you for the follow. Water to a boil over here on the stove. Zoom left. Stare at that until it starts steaming again. Because, you know, watch pot. We're going to prove it wrong tonight because it was already bubbling when I put the lid on. Yep, now we're starting to get some steam. I'm going to wait until we get some decent steam going. Alright, now we're going to turn that off. We'll give that 10 minutes. I think it's time to start rolling some burritos. I considered making my own tortillas tonight. Regulars know that I often do make my own tortillas, but I don't have a good way. I mean, I have the flat top, but I don't really have a good way of searing large ones. And I wanted some large burrito tortillas for tonight, and so did okay with frying them the other night. Debating how I want things set up here. Let's go in with our first burrito here. Definitely more beans. Marinated, the acidity is getting to my hands even after cooking it all. Yeah, that's a little heavy. The only way you get better is by doing a whole bunch of them. And most of my practice comes from my externship. We did breakfast burritos. All sorts of them. Hundreds, if not thousands. I'm certainly not working in a Mexican restaurant numbers, though. Never worked any place, I don't think, that has burritos. Certainly haven't worked any place that did chimichangas. Did we do any at that bar and grill? I certainly didn't make any at that bar and grill if we had them on the menu or not. And then to use some of this up. We have leftover beef and corn and onion and garlic and all that from yesterday. Not quite using all that up, I guess. And then I did the last one completely different, if you were watching. And start heating our oil. Hi, chat. because I'm cheating. I'm cheating on these. I am just going to pin them closed with toothpick. And the reason I am doing that is because I don't have a traditional fat fryer where I can sandwich this between the two and drop it down in and then lift the one up after it's been in there a minute. I guess I could maybe put my spider and hold it down, but this is just, it's just easier. It's a little more work, but logistically it's easier. Like, it's not gonna fall apart on me. It means I gotta take a couple seconds and pull the toothpick back out, but you know, I'm not serving this at a restaurant, so put these over here. These are the ground beef ones. Thank you for the follows over on Trova. How we doing over here, oil? We up the temp yet? Nope. You're being difficult, I guess. Got 2 minutes until the bread pudding's out, chat. 2 minutes. Actually, 1 minute. 1 minute. 60 seconds. Yeah, let's clear some way for some bread pudding. Let's check and see what that looks like when it comes out here. We got some nice light browning around the sides here. I think I'm gonna give this a little bit longer, chat. It's looking nice. I'm gonna give it a little bit more. And actually, I'm going to up the temp here from 325 to 350, and we're going to give that 6 minutes. We're around 200 on our oil temp. Our rice is ready. Let's take a look at what our rice is like. I forgot that I had the onion in there initially. And so I was like, what's wrong with that rice? It's all glossy and wrong shape. I'm gonna get rid of the lime. It's done its flavoring here. So I'm gonna put that back over in the stove and put the lid back on it. That's looking nice. I'm a little heavy on the liquid. Maybe I'll leave the top off for a little bit. Chat, someone want to trade me their shoulders? Mine are broken. I'll trade it back too if someone's got one in better condition than mine. I feel like that's almost an ad joke. I feel like that's almost an dad joke. Ad joke? I don't know why I said that. Brain, why did I say that? Hey, Oil, why aren't you like Little Caesars and just hot and ready? Not a sponsor. Twitch gonna ban you, Buns? Trying to be filthy with your mouth. Murderous bunny with a filthy mouth. Let's see here. Hey, Chef Steve giving me a host over on Kick. Thank you. Welcome in. We're working on chimichangas. I've got two types. I've got ones with ground beef, onions, onions, corn, and kidney beans. That's the mixture left over from my taco salad last night. And then in these ones, for the main deal, are Carne Asada with black beans, onions, and salsa and cheese. Just waiting to fry those. We're waiting on our oil to come up to temp. And that's our timer going off here. Thank you, Chef Steve. What were you up to tonight? Where were we cooking? Where were we cooking? Since you move around. I'm liking the look of this a little better this time around, chat. Here's our dessert tonight. For those that are new in here, I do ingredient challenges on Wednesdays. And so tonight, I had to put carne asada in both my dinner and my dessert. And so what you're looking there on the counter is a carne asada bread pudding with apricot jam over the top. It's also got cinnamon, nutmeg, and all sorts of other loveliness in there. Of course, there's some egg, and I used some eggnog mostly to use it up. I mean, dairy, egg, it's essentially the same thing. Marinara and pasta cones for the truck. Some prep here in the driveway. Okay. Nice. What all sorts of places do you guys go to? I've caught a couple of them, but... Well, happy to have you over here anyways, CNNR. That is some sort of... That can be interpreted some other way, but I'm not quite catching it. Over on the stove... Come on, voice commands. Over on the stove. Arg. Make me push buttons. We got oil almost up to, well, 270, 290. We'll call that 285. We're waiting on that to heat up for frying our chimichangas. We also got some rice already made up with some lime and some garlic. Nice, Chef Steve. I haven't heard a whole lot about that availability out here. There was for a while there. Forgetting the name of the financial company. I think they crashed and burned pretty bad. But they're offering the mobile people all sorts of money around here in Sonoma. Cheers. I'm going for 350 on the oil here, so if we're going for 300, I could questionably maybe start. We're going to give that another minute or two. And give me a moment to take a photo of this craziness. We get into some weird desserts here on Wednesdays. Whether it's hot sauce or carne asada tonight, or Spam. We do some weird stuff on the other side of this challenge too, though. Like things like after 8 dinner mints. That was a toughie. Are we going to get to be in a world at some point where we're going to have a logo on a pan and I can't take a photo of the food that I'm taking because the logo is copyrighted? Getting some sweat or something in my eye. Something salty or spicy my eye doesn't quite like. But I do have to say that whether or not the carne asada in the bread pudding tastes good or not, it certainly smells good right now. This kitchen is, regardless of there being oil heating up that I have used that is looking a bit like motor oil at this point, this is smelling, the entire kitchen is smelling amazingly of cinnamon and sugar and bread and egg. I mean, we're already to the point where new games are being released with, you know, streamer mode and stuff like that. Alright. Oil ready yet? Nope. Almost, though. Almost. I think I'm going to start with the ground beef leftovers ones because, I mean, the first ones are going to be the testers. They're going to get the oil up the temp. I'll figure out what I'm doing. So if I mess them up, the leftover ones are the ones that are messed up. I say that like I'm not going to eat all of them anyways. Alright, going in with our first currently burrito, soon to be chimichanga. Like I said, I don't have the fry baskets to hold these together nicely. For those that are just joining in, I toothpicked all of these. I wouldn't normally do that in a restaurant or if I had a proper deep fat fryer. I just use, like I said, you know, 2 of them, hold them together until it holds its shape, which this is pretty much holding its shape already. I'm just holding it down. Till it's nice and brown and crispy. All of the meat and everything that's inside's already been cooked. And I'm not necessarily planning to eat all of these tonight. I'm not going to eat all of these tonight. So I'm not too concerned about, you know, cheese being completely melted through. So mostly I'm just doing it for the tortilla. And I didn't set up anywhere for these to go. See, this is the part, you know, it's good that I'm starting off with a... I mean, pretty much across the board, chimichangas are all ready made with pre-made and pre-cooked ingredients. And so, yeah, it's entirely pretty much just getting that nice golden brown on the outside, getting it so it holds together. See if we lost too much temperature there or not. No, we can go right in with another one. Thank you for the follow, Windubs. Thank you for the follow, Mithril. Unfortunately, Kick does not have an API, so I don't get to put up fancy alerts and stuff for all you lovely people that follow me over on Kick, or on YouTube, or on Trovo. In the future. So those are our leftovers. Now we go in for the main party. It depends on how much of their website they just stole from Twitch. There was an IP theft situation where all of Twitch's backend was revealed at one point. So they could have largely just copied and pasted. Even more so than just, you know, looking at the code of the pages. So there's a question there of how much of a development team they actually have. Chimichanga. At one point, I was going to be a web developer. That was like right when I was getting out of high school. I was actually doing it. I was actually building sites. I built a site for one of my instructors in high school, and I did some work for a bit local internet business. The hosting business I was working with, which was the business I was doing some contracting with, went under with the web crash of 2000. Worked with them for a couple of years. If anyone's familiar with First Robotics, the high school competition, at one point I was going to redesign their website. And I had redesigned their website, and it was essentially done to their say and their revisions. And then one of the corporate sponsors came in and redid it. But at that point, I was basically out of school anyway, so it was like, it to a certain degree has probably made sense since, you know, I wasn't going to be there anymore. Hey, Jamie. I also took all the courses to complete my CCNA and decided that I didn't want to be pulling network cable my entire life and got into cooking. But I very well could have been a network security, network associate. I don't know. I don't like the way this one's frying, so I'm pulling this one a little bit early. It's starting to pull apart, it's starting to tear and rip, and I don't want it to... I don't know why I'm really worried about saving this motor oil. This is essentially the last time I plan to use this oil. Oh, dad joke. Oh. Talk about a colorful image. And for our last one, which I think is going to be our photo, that one looks gorgeous, doesn't it? Nice, gorgeous brown. Ah! And I dropped one. Ah! Executive decision. I'm going to use a non-food safe item on my food tonight. That's why. To a degree. I don't recommend you do this. Find something else to do this with. I'm just being lazy. That said, all sorts of tools do get regularly used in the kitchen that shouldn't or aren't normally a part of the kitchen. Heat on the oil is off. I think it's time to plate up dinner here. Have our leftover guacamole from yesterday. Which did oxidize a little bit. We're just going to mix that in, make that mostly disappear. It can be a little bit more bitter with that in there, but sorry for not changing the camera earlier. Mixing up the sour cream. Loosening it up a little bit. So there is tonight's chimichanga, our Carne Asada chimichanga. Make sure we're on the right photo mode here. Forgot the cilantro for the photos. But you can throw some cilantro on there too if you like cilantro. There's certainly cilantro in this already. But I'm not taking more photos. We got our photos of that deliciousness. I'm going to go and enjoy that in a little bit here. But first, let's plate up or take a look at what we got here with our bread stuffing. And I feel like I owe it to chat to give this an actual try on stream to see if I think it's horrible or not. For anyone that hasn't been following along or new into the stream, this is my Wednesday ingredient challenge. Chat poses an ingredient that's hard for me to use for both savory and sweet applications. And so tonight's dinner ingredient is Carne Asada, and I have put that into an apricot bread pudding. So let's see what we ended up with here. I think I got a photo of this already. Let's do another one just to be sure. Almost tempted, like, I want to show that there's some nice browning going on here. There's some nice browning on the side of this. I sort of feel like I should have some, like, whipped cream or something for with that. Sort of wish I had a spray can of whipped cream. I mean, I got this lovely stand mixer now, but I don't have any actual cream in the house right now. Get rid of the lime and tomato. It doesn't go nearly as well in this photo. Ice cream would be a good play if I had ice cream. Actually, I think I do have, well, not for this. Put the lid back on our rice so that it doesn't completely dry out on me. But yes, that, I was also considering the idea of using a little of the sour cream thinned out with some powdered sugar and poured over as a glaze. But I think we're going to live with that tonight, chat. Let's give that a shot. Let's see what this is like. Let's see if this is edible. Too savory, too sweet. I don't know if I got any beef in there at all. If you watched the earlier in the stream, I certainly put beef in this. Like, there is certainly a piece of beef right there. Let's try that piece there. It's certainly delicious. I will give you that. I don't know if it's dessert though, chat. Like, this is almost a little bit more savory breakfast with the beef in there. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm eating that. That's delicious. I just don't know if I want to call it a dessert, regardless of it being packed with nearly a full thing of apricot jam, using cinnamon raisin bread, and yeah. And eggnog. I got another piece of beef there at the tail end of that, and I almost couldn't place it as beef. It was savory. But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, chat, it's delicious. I just don't know if I want to call it dessert. What do you think, chat? And welcome in Cubozen and Jeremy. But I'm going to go enjoy this now while it's still nice and crispy. Gonna be back here on Friday. Not 100% sure what my plans are for dinner. It's been a while since I haven't had solid plans for dinner. I was gonna do this, but I got to use Carne Asada for this, so I was thinking of doing chicken enchiladas. Or chicken chimichangas. We'll be back here on Friday. We're gonna be doing barrel-aged cocktail. Let's see, which one did it win? Which one won? Let me pull up Discord here real quick. So I'm making a 2-liter barrel-aged Manhattan on Friday. And I'll be making dinner too. But that's in addition. I hope you come back to join me for that. We got other fun stuff planned. I explained earlier on in the stream how you can find that stuff out. Yeah, hope to see you Friday. Good night.